Okay, today we're doing something a little bit different. We are slowing things right down. We're stepping away from all the heavy data and deep dives to explore something genuinely profound, a deeply poetic dedication. Really, it's an homage to the seekers, to the wanderers, and honestly to anyone out there who's ever had to navigate their way through the shadows. We're going to unpack how this incredibly short piece of writing manages to capture the entire architecture of personal transformation. So get comfortable, clear your mind for a few minutes, and let's embark on this explainer together.
Let's just jump right into this opening line because it immediately calls out to our inner light and sets this really beautiful, almost hypnotic cadence for the rest of our journey. Notice the specific wording used here. It doesn't say for those who are learning or for those who are discovering. It specifically says remembering. Think about what that implies. It means that the wisdom, the truth, the light, it's already inside of us. We literally haven't lost it. We've just temporarily forgotten it. And that right there establishes the foundational theme for everything we're talking about today. This journey isn't about going out and acquiring something brand new. It's about uncovering what was already there the whole time.
But before we go any further, I want you to really sit with this question as we start to descend into the shadows and talk about why the darkness is actually necessary. I mean, in our day-to-day lives, darkness is almost universally treated as a negative, right? It's something to avoid, something to fear. It's that thing we just try to rush through as fast as humanly possible until we can find the light again. But the source text we're digging into today completely challenges that instinct. It's asking us to hit pause and entirely reconsider our relationship with those difficult, shadowy periods of our lives. So ask yourself, are you genuinely prepared to stop running from it and instead look at it closely? Because what we're looking at here is a really profound paradox. We actually aren't meant to run from the dark. We're supposed to lean in and comprehend its form. Think about our default human response. It's to escape. And hey, that's just a survival mechanism, right? Makes sense. But the alternative, understanding its shape, that requires an incredibly active, intentional stance. You literally can't understand the shape of something if you're sprinting away from it in terror. You have to stand still. You have to let your eyes adjust to the room. You have to patiently map out its contours. And the author dedicates this work specifically to the people who have made that insanely difficult, counterintuitive choice. It honors the absolute bravery it takes to just exist in a space of complete uncertainty and discomfort, for the sole purpose of gaining a deeper understanding. It totally reframes our struggles. It's telling us, hey, those dark times aren't just horrible obstacles in your way. They are essential landscapes. They have their own unique geography, and we are meant to chart them. But to do that, you need silence. As we sit in the deep shadows of this explainer, we find that silence is an absolute requirement if we want to isolate the profound truth from all the chaotic noise of our daily lives. The text highlights the ones who have sat in silence long enough to hear the truth beneath the noise. I absolutely love the physical orientation of that imagery. The noise isn't just happening around us, it's literally above us. We have to dive beneath it. It suggests that truth isn't some loud thing shouting to get our attention. Truth is super quiet. It sits way down at the bottom of the ocean of our consciousness, and you need profound stillness and patience to finally tune into its frequency. And that kind of stillness, it eventually builds into this beautiful three-step progression of transformation. It honors those of us who have completely fallen apart, only to be reborn with absolute clarity. So step 1, dissolved. This is total surrender. It's that terrifying moment when the old version of you just completely melts away. Then, step 2, returned. This implies a gathering back together of the self, a reconstruction from that melted, dissolved state. And finally, step 3, dared to live again with open eyes. Notice that word, dared, because let's be real, after you have completely fallen apart and somehow pieced yourself back together, it is terrifying to remain vulnerable. It's terrifying to keep your eyes open to the harsh realities of the world. Yet this text honors exactly that bold, courageous choice. Now here is where we hit a massive paradigm shift. The text just masterfully strips away all of our heavy protective identities and shows us that our perceived brokenness and even the armor of our bravery, well, they were simply illusions all along. First, there's the realization that our fundamental essence actually cannot be fractured, no matter what we've been through in life. And then there's the dismantling of our defenses. Think about it. If we were never truly broken to begin with, then we never actually needed that rigid armor of bravery to protect us. This is such a relief. It frees us from the utterly exhausting work of constantly having to be strong, revealing that our natural baseline state is already whole and completely secure. So it specifically honors these enduring archetypes, the folks who, despite the profound exhaustion, just keep putting one foot in front of the other. We're talking about the true wanderers. You see, the text doesn't throw a parade for the people who instantly found all the answers on day one. No, it celebrates the persistence of the search itself. It acknowledges that deep, bone-level weariness that comes with being on a really long journey. It validates that quiet, unglamorous strength it takes to simply not stop. If you have ever felt incredibly tired but flat out refused to give up your search for meaning, I promise you this line is speaking directly to your experience. Okay, this brings us to what might literally be my favorite line in the entire text. It's this powerful, completely transformative realization that the terrifying obstacles we face ultimately become part of our own immense power and identity. The dragons we meet, those represent the fierce, terrifying challenges and fears we have to confront on our path. But then, the dragons we become entirely flips the script. It tells us that by facing these immense challenges head-on, we actually absorb their power. We integrate the shadow. We become fierce, formidable, and powerful in our own right. We aren't just out there slaying the dragon, we are integrating its strength into our very being. How cool is that? And then, boom, the text pierces the fourth wall. It shifts away from this abstract collective group out there somewhere, and it addresses you directly, making this deeply personal. Up until this point, the dedication has been to the ones, but suddenly, the author turns the lens straight onto you. And to you, it says. It identifies you by multiple roles. It says you are the reader holding the book. You are the wanderer on the journey. And most profoundly, you are the witness. Meaning you are not just a passive viewer of this explainer. You are the active, conscious presence absorbing this dedication right this second. By defining you as the awareness behind the eyes reading these words, the text yanks you into a state of deep mindfulness. It makes you hyper-aware of your own existence in this exact fraction of a second. It basically separates your physical body, the eyes doing the reading, from the deep consciousness that is actually doing the comprehending. It's this sudden, stunning moment of grounding. And all of this builds toward the text's ultimate hope for you. It wants to provide an empowering, glowing lantern of guidance that lives deep within your very physical being. The author actually offers 3 distinct blessings for what this work will become for you. First, an external tool, a lantern in your hand to light those dark paths we were just talking about. Second, an internal, life-sustaining rhythm, a breath in your chest. And third, a deep structural knowing, a remembering in your bones. Notice how it moves. It goes from the outside all the way in until the wisdom is literally woven into your physical framework. So let's take a slow, deep breath as we look at this first blessing. After acknowledging all the darkness, the dissolved states, the dragons we had to face, the very first instruction for how to actually move forward is simply to be gentle. That's it. It's an invitation to release the tension, to stop white-knuckling and forcing your way through life. It's a reminder to treat yourself and the ground you're walking on with profound care. And notice how the rhythm of the words themselves forces us to decelerate. It anchors us in this quiet clarity. Because to walk clearly means the noise has finally settled down. It means all those illusions of brokenness and the false need to be constantly brave have been completely stripped away. You aren't stumbling blindly through the darkness trying to escape anymore. Your path is finally illuminated by that lantern we discussed, which means every single step you take can be intentional and precise. Which brings us to the final blessing, the true culmination of our entire journey together, arriving at a place of true, unclouded vision after navigating those deep shadows. The one who sees is the ultimate evolution of the seeker, the weary traveler, the witness. It represents a state of complete, unwavering awareness. You've done the work. You sat in the silence. You took the time to understand the shape of the darkness. And now you move forward through the world with your eyes completely wide open to the truth. So I want to leave you with this final, provocative thought to carry with you as you step out of the darkness and continue your own wanderings. Are you walking as the one who sees? Take these words, let them be a true remembering in your bones, and carry that lantern forward into whatever path lies ahead of you. Thank you so much for slowing down with me today and joining me for this explainer. Keep seeking, keep walking, and I will see you next time.